Hi guys, welcome back to In Casa. Today I'm here in Old Town Geneva to interview a friend of mine, Mr. Roy Davidoff, one half of Davidoff Brothers. So come with me to check out the shop and part of his collection. So we're finally here.
Yes, we are.
Davidoff Brothers HQ.
It is.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
Best time of the year in Geneva for me. May, sunny, better in Milan. I got fined like 4 times coming here. Yeah, the same. Always the same, Italians going around.
You should come by train.
But it's more good to,
No, the Monte Bianco is a lot of fun. The Valley of Aosta is fun.
Yeah, but no, still it's more because I don't wanna. I'm lazy,
That's understand. I like driving too, so I have nothing to say.
So we're in Old Town.
We are in the Old Town, where my brother and I set up shop 2014.
Okay, so not that long ago.
But I started when I was much younger.
Yeah, you could have told me you were 4?
I was 4 years old.
4?
No, just the passion.
Okay, yeah. I don't see you starting dealing, at 4.
Dealing, I started when I was 13,
6.
14.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Should have been, huh?
I think I started my negotiating skills with my parents. But
Selling watches to them? No.
No. Just negotiating. You're a kid. You want things, and you have to negotiate.
Yeah. I can relate a lot to that. But I was hoping for literally.
No. Literally, I started when I was 13, 14.
Okay. Here in Geneva.
In Geneva for about a year, at the flea market, and then I moved to Miami. And by the time I was 16, I had my driver's license. And when you have your driver's license, you can go places.
Yeah.
So I used to drive to my first internship, where I worked for a watch brand, putting on straps, packing boxes, very simple stuff, and I started selling their watches for fun.
Okay.
I would buy them from them at wholesale and sell them to my friends with a small profit.
That's where it all started. And by the way, you told me before swatches, you
Yes.
did see the first phenomenon
Yes.
of swatch market.
100%.
So how far is it from today?
Same.
It's the same.
Same.
So we're talking crap about it just for fun.
It was like a flashback
Okay.
to standing in front of the different stores that carried Swatch back in the day, because the current locations weren't where the Swatch stores are now, if I don't remember at least. And we were queuing to buy the chronos, the special dials, the special watches, and people would be paying like double and triple in Italy, in Milan especially.
Yeah.
And it was
Sure.
really just like, and I remember I have many friends still today. They have like boxes and boxes and boxes of swatches in their attic, and now they're like, okay, I have that now.
Hope it's not going the same now.
No. I mean, with the Moon Swatch, I feel it is. Everybody has like their Moon Swatch display. Everybody wants to sell them, but I'm like, it's a fad.
Swatch, yeah, in the end. You brought something more than swatches, I think.
Yeah, so talking about
Yeah.
this week, the auction celebrated the 50th anniversary of Gerald Genta designing the Royal Oak. So we brought some APs and some Gentas.
I see an interesting AP, by the way. When I thought about the interview, I was like, I want to not like say a part of like what he does, but most of all, I want to get like your vision about what's going on right now. Not easy and pretty cliche question, but actually see something that is indeed something I can think about. What about it?
This is something different. This model, the 8e, was born 1987. It was named only a year or two later.
Okay.
Back then, it used the ultra-thin movement that's been popularized throughout the years. This is actually the identical same movement that is used in the Beast that came out in '93. And what's really cool with this is that you get a flawless dial. You get ultra-thin movement with a great chronograph module, and the price is quite affordable.
Yeah, for the moment. But you know who showed me this watch like 4 months ago? Jasper.
Yes.
Tell me, what do you think about it? I don't like the watch, actually. I don't like chronograph with dates. Don't feel it at all. But he told me, yeah, that's going to be the next.
So
most possible.
it's quite interesting. We'll segue into chronograph with dates. The two most important chronographs ever produced, which is the Speedmaster and the Daytona, in naming rights, 57 and 63, don't have a date, and the original model will never have a date.
Okay.
And it's quite fun when you see what other brands did, where they're like, okay, we're going to clear out some space, we're going to make the counters to the left, we're going to make modules, we're going to make integrated, and it was a race to who could do the first, who could do the best. But I feel that in terms of retro design, this is really, really nice.
Yeah, it is. But don't you think if it weren't AP, it would have been like forgotten somehow?
So think about the module maker, the same module maker that makes for Richard Mille.
Yeah.
You know, amongst others. So, you know, as an example,
Yeah.
let's just start from the top. So it's quite nice. It's a choice. Again, I like to wear Beast.
Well, you can. I wouldn't never, but still.
And it's exact same configuration.
True. I don't know. On the Beast, it's a bit different to me. I mean,
No,
it
but
feels
this was done different. It was supposed to be something more appealing. They wanted to keep the dates. They figured it out.
No, it's a cool watch, but not the coolest among them. But still. And so, what are some? I mean, how do you see the market today as young people getting in? I was having this conversation. We have a lot of friends. We're all young in the end, and but I feel there are a lot more guys coming up that may also. I mean, there's something
really
to
cool.
have fun
No, that's really cool.
when you're a guy.
That's a
And
bi
when you're young.
retrograde jump hour. This was Gerald Genta in all of his glory. When you see something like this, you know you had fun. You had the Gaudron on the case side.
Yeah,
Reminds us
like-
a little bit of what Breguet did.
And that is there also on the new models. Let's say.
of course.
So
They took the design,
yeah,
exactly the same thing. So it's
somehow
great.
bigger, but
They made
more
it a bit
modern.
bigger. But more modern take on the vintage piece. And what's really cool with this is that for years, other brands other than the top 5, nobody cared about.
Yeah,
Like
now,
really nobody cared about. And then there was a new appreciation for independence. And then once the prices started skyrocketing, it left a vacuum in the market.
yeah,
Once Rolex and Patek and some Vacheron and Royal Oaks, they started skyrocketing, it left a vacuum. And how do you fill that vacuum?
yeah,
You said young collectors. You speak about young collectors, doesn't mean, it also means more of a budget constraint when buying watches. And when you start, you know, a 2,000-3,000 euro Oyster Perpetual is now out the shop 10, 15, 20, you're like, oh, what has been done in the past
Yeah.
and what can I
get for the same money, but
Exactly.
with more fun. True, and that's an example.
That's a prime example. Under 10,000 euros for a beautiful bi-retrograde, black dial, flawless.
Let's see if it comes to Milan. Yeah, maybe. We'll never know. No, but about it. I mean, you started pretty early, as you told me.
Yes.
Not just dealing, but maybe like you understood early what was dealing about, and you saw, you know, dynamics.
I've always been very lucky in my life is that by the time I've always been very curious. So I asked a
Okay.
lot of questions and the people that I met early on always answered. Everybody took the time to say, to explain to me certain things. Some people took offense that I shouldn't ask them, they should just take it, whatever they say is law.
Okay.
Sometimes I behave like that too, but let's not talk about that. But the fact is that I was very lucky that people always helped me and explained to me what was what.
But if you didn't start that early,
Yes.
would you've been there? I mean, because a lot of people that I hear from want to start their own business, want to work in watchmaking. The market is growing, it's spreading all around. But
My best advice that I tell a lot of friends who are actually a lot of my friends and their friends' children, now that they're coming up a certain age, is that I tell them, get a really good job
okay,
and have that expendable cash so you can just buy whatever you want.
so you would not suggest someone to be a dealer? like you are?
It depends. If you've gone crazy and you've amassed 20, 30, 40 watches and you know where to source yourself regularly and you have a good watchmaker or watchmakers, you have a good source of watches all over the world, then you can give it a try first as a hobby and then as a full-time job.
Okay. So you would not go 100% into it. It's too risky maybe today.
It's not too risky. You just have to be aware of the financial risks
Yeah.
and have the network. It's not like, I know some people who bought few watches from a retailer.
Okay.
They turned around and they sold them for a huge margin. And then they're like, oh, I'm going to be a watch dealer. And then they realize, oh, the source is dried up.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, I'm going to go back to my real job now. Well, but I've seen that, I would say hundreds of times. Or you have some people, some friends in Geneva who have a job.
Okay.
And on the side, they like to find these like new stock watches, little things, and they deal with those. So I think it's fun to be able to share your passion, but you need to make sure that at the end of the month, you can pay your bills.
I mean, that's That's how it's called in English. That's superfluous, maybe.
Yes, but it's important.
Bills
to,
or not.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm always impressed by this watch. I think it is something that should be way more up than the Royal Oak.
So this is also Jasper's fault. He
100%.
pushed the perpetual calendar,
100%.
round case APs a lot, and my brother and I were at a show and we saw the watch and we're like, okay,
We have to get
we
it.
have to have it. But it was just unpolished condition.
Yeah, but he would bully you if you didn't, I think.
It's for me, the skeleton. So Royal Oak is one half of AP, and AP as a complication manufacturer, especially the perpetual calendar, was the uncontested master in the late 70s, late 70s, 80s, and early 90s. They fell out of grace because market changed, and now there's a resurgence where any other brand will cost a tenth, and a Royal Oak will be like 10 times more.
Yeah, and seeing them together is pretty impressive, though.
So it's the same engine, and I see it's how nice they were able to decorate them, finish them. You can see, with the dial, and even if you remove the dial, it's just as beautiful below.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Only difference with the one on your left is that it's fully skeletonized movement from the back with the beautiful 2120.
Yeah.
Which is the engine that they have in common with, that was made by Jaeger, that they have in common with the VC222 and the Nautilus and a few other pieces.
I love the AP.
Yes.
Skeletonization on the...
Funny enough, there was a watch that sold at auction this weekend that had other initials. And you can clients for, I think, 5,000-6,000 can get them changed on new watches.
Didn't know that.
Yes, I found that out recently.
And how, as you told me before, I knew you from Speedmasters, basically. In fact, I remember talking to your brother about the record that was broken in November.
Yeah.
And you were both of you really, on it, because
it's important, when you see world records being broken, to understand how when people get carried away. It's a nice looking watch. We try to keep our feet more grounded, and that's why Speedmasters is still going to be like our first child.
Okay.
But it's nice because now we've spread into second, third, and fourth.
But
so we spread the love around.
That was something I was going into, because I've seen, I'm seeing everything but Speedmasters. Yes. But still, they've fetched pretty great results lately.
Of course.
Yesterday and the day before.
Yeah, of course.
So you're happy about it, I guess.
We're very happy.
So
we're discussing what to bring to market next.
And
we'll see. We'll see. We're discussing with my brother. We'll see.
Because that was something I was going to ask you. How do you feel about modern watches? Because you're wearing one. We have one there. We can say that's modern or that's modern. They're not literally modern. They're just.
So I'll give you a very, very clear answer. My brother and I, when we started our business, We talked about when I started, but when my brother and I started, was like 8-9 years ago, we were collectors.
Okay.
Like we had our 15202s and 15300s and Daytonas and Submariners and all the regular, run-of-the-mill watches. And when we first decided to open shop, we sold all of our watches. We sold everything. We kept like one or two. We sold everything. We had to.
Wow.
So it's quite important to sacrifice. There are very famous quotes that say, if you're not willing to sacrifice everything to gain everything, then you shouldn't start. But anyways, the point is, we sold everything, and with that startup cash, we started our business.
Okay.
And then after a couple years, we started to indulge ourselves. And today, we still sell vintage. You can see everything here is pre-2000. Anything from 80s and 80s and 90s actually today is quite a bit of focus. But everything we buy for ourselves is new.
Like everything.
Yeah, otherwise it's for the shop.
I would never be able to.
No, but it's also a moral. It's not a moral sacrifice, but it's a moral compass that we have, where we say, okay, every time a shop decides to say, we have a shop, the Davidoff brothers, but we're still willing to sell them a watch because they can go out and make like 3 times as much, but we believe that they're going to be like honest and keep it at least 5 years. That's also.
Yeah, but sure. I mean, after 5 years, it's.
Yeah, but most of the stuff I've had for longer than that, but at least 5 years.
And among the new stuff,
yes,
what's something you would bet on, not investment-wise, but that will maybe iconic, not just price appreciate, but just, something that would be recognizable in the future and that will last?
So it's quite complicated because it's a twofold answer. I'm going to speak about the independents again.
Sure.
But then you have to wait years to get something when you order it. Or smaller independents where you can get things right away, but then it's just for fun.
Yeah.
And regular brands. So I've been very, very lucky because I was able to meet some people at some brands, and I saw the watches and they saw the passion that I have for watches. And when the watches first came out, I was like, I want one. And they're like, okay.
Well, that's lucky, huh?
Yeah, they could have chosen to be like, no, you don't get one because you have a shop.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, but this is what happened with the fact that I got my Beast last year for my birthday, and I decided to get it only last summer.
Okay.
So it took like 3-4 months to get it. These are things, I was able to. I went to the shop. The second or third one delivered, I got of the Finissimo sketch. I've met Fabrizio. I've met the team, and I was like, I have to get this watch.
That's the only one I have in mind from big brands that will last, in my opinion.
So on a segue is that I get like, let's say Bucherer once every a year or two, we get what we order.
Yeah.
Because we wait, and they know that. I'll tell you a story. I have a friend that has one of the cities in America has a Richard Mille boutique.
Okay.
And he told me, he's like, listen, if someone wants to buy a Richard Mille, they can buy it. If they want to buy the second one, they need to bring the first one. If they want to buy the third one, they need to buy the first 2. If they want to buy the fourth one, they need to buy the first 3, and so on and so forth. It makes sense. So when you walk into like a Rolex store and you want to buy their 6th watch, if the first 5th you sold, you're not going to get the 6th.
Yeah.
So for me, it's quite easy. I could just take a box, come to Bucherer, put it on the table. He goes, here's the blue, here's the yellow, here's the pink. May I have something else, please?
Yeah. Works well like that, huh? What's your funniest memory in Geneva?
I have a lot of. I opened the shop in December.
Okay.
For the Escalade, which is when the city of Geneva pushed back the invading attack from the Savoyards. And instead of sitting in the street where they walked through, I opened the shop so I could stand inside and it was warmer. And I sold 7 watches that day.
What?
On a Sunday where I was just trying to stay warm.
Wow.
So that's I mean I have a lot of other fun stories. I mean I have like famous people just like pop in the shop. They're like, oh, I go vintage watches, and they come in. I'm like, I see you on TV. And this happens like, you know, once or twice a year. Sometimes I'm like, shit, he left and I didn't take a picture. And sometimes like, hey, it's like a selfie, you know, it's kind of cool. But it's kind of fun. Also the auctions.
Fun times.
The fun time to the auctions is when I have like big clients that know us and we've done business with them, and they're like, what do you think of this? And I'm like, I don't know. And I go see it and I do all the expertise and all these things. And then the guy calls us up during the auction. He's like, okay, I want to get it. And we're like, okay. And we try to bid. And we're like, holy shit. Like one time I had a client want to pay over $1 million for a watch. And I knew he was going to pay over $1 million for the watch. And I'm bidding against 2-3 other people. And I was very excited because I was going to be able to say 1 million. And it was like a 950 or something. And it was creeping up slowly. And I'm about to say 1 million. And the guy next to me says 1 million, and I'm like, 1,050,000? and it just felt, it was like, it just fell flat. And it's like, this is the largest amount of money that I was ever gonna bid on a watch.
And he took it off from me.
And he took it away from me.
Ah, no, so bad.
I'll never get it back. No, but it's like, I mean, funny. We have a lot of funny stories.
No, I mean, it's lovely, and that's why Geneva feels good in the end. I don't know, it feels like the place to be somehow.
For watches, it's become the center of the world, especially vintage watches, not for manufacturing, but because all the auctions are here.
Yeah, true. So that's the link to me between modern and vintage. I mean, should not.
So a lot of brands. So when we speak about watches, it's quite interesting. I would actually take the third one, and I will show you something.
Okay.
But right before that, there are a lot of brands that basically made the same model nonstop since day one.
Yeah.
Like Royal Oak was born in 72. They made Royal Oaks all throughout today. Speedmaster born in 57. They made Speedmasters nonstop till today. Daytona born in 63, so on and so forth. Gerald Genta designed watches for other people and then launched his brand. So, little known fact is if you look at the dial, you see here it says lowercase g.
Yeah.
This is a first generation.
Second generation.
Second generation, it has the red accent, Gerald Genta. This was already in the early 2000s.
The red accent, dude, never noticed it.
And
Nice.
now, today, they all look exactly like this with the capital letter GG. This is the,
accent.
and then this is the today, like the last 10 years.
So we have them all there. Like
what?
all the three, we have them all.
Yes.
You know?
No, so I nearly bought, actually this weekend, I saw a case with all the dials, mother of pearl dials for the Disney. Yeah, the little fairy, exactly.
I was picking up one as well, but
I got the box. I got the box. My friend got the box.
and gifted to you.
No. My friend got the box
Okay.
point blank. But I helped him get it because he's Italian and it was.
Was the guy Italian?
It was an Italian who got the box.
The one selling the box.
No, the guy selling the box is from Geneva.
Yeah, it's the old dude.
Old dude, yes, they're all old dudes.
We tried to buy a catalog and we tried to scrape off like $10 and it was like, no. It was okay.
No, there's some places you can negotiate, some places you can't negotiate.
Yeah. Some countries you want to negotiate.
Yes, it's part, and then
it's
some of my
really,
Italian friends are like, I try to get a better price, and he said no, and I was like, you're gonna double your money. Who cares? He's like, yes, but I want it. I'm like, don't negotiate, just pay and move on.
Is he a mutual friend of ours?
All of them are.
No, I'm not sure, man.
Yeah, they are,
Every time I look at your profile or I look at other profiles, I see that they are following you.
Yes.
Like every one of them is.
Yes.
And so I don't know now who's
No, but so I don't kiss and tell. The point is that, as you're saying, this is the bridge between vintage and modern.
Yeah.
When you see that the designs from the 70s, 80s, and 90s come back up in the 2000s, it's quite nice to see that it was done right back then, but the recognition had not happened. Same thing with Royal Oak. The first 2 years it was a flop, and then it became a huge seller.
Hope the same for the Octo.
It's
Was
already,
not a flop.
it's
though.
it's already doing very well.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with this watch.
It was the only one that made me say, okay, I'm gonna get it, as much as it doesn't fit me at all. I mean, I look terrible with this watch on. It's awful on my wrist. But still,
it's great on my wrist.
yeah, well, yours it is.
Makes me happy, so I don't have to wait for it. If this was for everybody, there's 0% chance I would have gotten one. Everybody else would have gone before me.
Yeah, but that's 200 pieces.
Yeah, so.
I was not the lucky one this time. No, but yeah, I prefer the older version pretty much, but still, that's literally faithful. Same position Mickey Mouse is in,
Just the
same
jumping hour is a
expression,
different place.
and different shape. I prefer much better that one, but
This is what the constraints of doing today. This is a Bulgari-based movement with a module just
Open
for them.
case back, didn't know
Open
that.
case back. The old one was, I believe, probably an ETA movement with also a module. The system is the same, but everything else is.
why is there a QR code on that one as well?
It's there. It's instead of having. It's there in.
Dude.
It's internal numbering.
Yeah, okay, but still, I don't like it.
It's not on the front. It's not on the front this time.
Yeah, much better. I mean, Mickey Mouse with a QR code on it would feel like...
I'm sure you can find some online.
Yeah, but I don't want to see them in the metal. Man, thank you so much for being with me.
Yeah.
What's your favorite among these ones?
My favorite among
Worst
these ones.
question ever.
No, it's not a worst question ever. So
Still.
funny enough, I was chasing the vintage one for years.
Okay.
And I wasn't able to find one. I always felt it was too much based on the market. And then I was able to acquire the new one. So my quest was over on that aspect. But the really, really cool part is that I got the new one. And my favorite on the table is actually going to be the two-tone Perpetual. For quite a few reasons. The earliest watch that I remember my father wearing is a two-tone Royal Oak from the 80s that he got the shop. And it was quartz, and it's a 35 millimeter. But I still wear the watch, and I still really enjoy having it. He asked me how much it's worth every couple of years, and unfortunately, it's worth a lot more now. It was worth a couple thousand when he gave it to me, and now it's worth like 10 times more. So now my brother's like, but anyways.
Yeah, no.
But he's right. But anyways, so this Perpetual really, really does it for me. It's I think the nicest two-tone watch in the market. It has very elegant silver dial. The print on the gold part of the counters is subdued by the subdues it a little bit, and I just feel such a comfortable and cool watch to wear.
Yep. So cool having big wrists. Yeah, much.
Everything fits.
It does. Man, thank you so much for being with me.
Yeah.
See you in Milan then, maybe.
Yeah. Soon, I hope.
Please, come. Guys, thank you for being with us. Let us know what was your favorite watch among these ones. And nothing. See you in the next video.